when I got out of the military, I went back to school and started playing rugby. So that's when I found my love for the sport of rugby. I still remember the coach when I went in for my first game. You know, you're running around like crazy, hitting people and just like, and he looked at me, he's like, calm down. It's pretty crazy, right? Like, yeah, like, but it was so much fun, you know, because it's 80 minutes of just running and tackling, and you know, it's like football, but for me it was better. I really enjoyed it. It's still that team aspect, but you had to really be in good shape and you had to be strong, and I was hooked after the first match. Once I had a career to worry about, you know, playing rugby was no longer something I was doing. I actually got back into CrossFit at that point. I did CrossFit through the police academy for extra conditioning, as if we weren't getting enough already at the police academy, but I was doing CrossFit like 4 or 5 days a week, and then continued that once I became a police officer. So I played, like I said, that one season and one game at George Mason, and then I started playing again as an adult last year at the ripe age of 41. It's different being older. I was the second oldest guy on the team. I still played every single game, played all 80 minutes every single game. Was still doing CrossFit at the same time, and that got a little hard for my body. Like, that's a lot of high intensity training and a lot of impact on the body. So I started getting kind of beat up towards the end of the season. What happened was I made an attempted attack on a larger athlete, and they just took my arm with them. And I felt it immediately. Nothing popped or anything, but like I knew my shoulder was messed up. I actually took myself through the diagnostic test for rotator cuff, and I passed. So I was like, okay, so my rotator cuff's still there. So I just stretched something or, you know, strained something. My shoulder was like achy for a while, and then I noticed it was starting to impact my lifting performance in the gym. Coming up here, like, isn't great now, but like before, I'm like, was all the way out here out in front. So like getting my shoulder pulled back, getting the ability to get my head almost in line with my ear, you know, versus out here in front. Like I said, so trying to do a pull-up, if one arm is here, like it made a huge difference. Just hanging from a bar was painful. Like I couldn't hang, let alone do a pull-up or any kind of kipping movement, like no toes to bar or anything like that. And the same thing with the bench press. Like the shoulder was just hurting, like on the way down, the back of my shoulder would start wanting to feel like it's gonna pop off. Then I was starting like having to change what positions I was playing on the rugby pitch, because I didn't want to be driving a ruck with my left shoulder because it was hurting too much. So I had to switch sides. And then it got to the point where like I couldn't even do a push-up. So I was like, yeah, I need to do something, because we still had like a few matches left plus playoffs if we qualified for them, which we did. So I wanted to be able to still contribute to the team. You know, as a CrossFitter, you do your flossing and your stretching and some foam rolling and, you know, stuff like that. And it would feel a little bit better, but again, like I said, when I was noticing I couldn't do any kipping movement whatsoever, but even like strict press hurt, bench press hurt, and then eventually, like I said, I could only go down on a push-up. As soon as I tried to start pushing up, like I'd collapse. So I was like, yeah, so this isn't working. Chances are doctor's not gonna do anything or send me to not a great physical therapist. So I knew Dr. Lilly from the CrossFit gym I was at. I knew she had worked with some of the other athletes there, so I just scheduled an appointment with her. I mean, obviously my goal was just to get back out of pain so I can get back to lifting and not risk any kind of further injury while playing rugby still. So my biggest thing was get back to the same lifting I was doing prior to the shoulder injury, and just not be in constant pain. I came in for evaluation. She, you know, took my shoulder through ranges of motion, or attempted to take them through some ranges of motion. Did some strength tests in the gym just to see where I was at. And then she gave me she built a plan of like, all right, this is where we're gonna start, and then we're just gonna keep progressing with your workouts and stuff to get that shoulder stronger. I came in here struggling to wash my back and take my shirt off, you know, because my shoulder hurt so much, or get through a whole night of sleep without having to like wake up and roll over because my shoulder hurt. And then, you know, within a couple months of being here and seeing Dr. Lily doing her program, like those things are gone. That pain was gone. So I'm no longer, you know, dealing with that, which was, you know, possibly impacting my mood at home with the kids and the wife. You know, like if you're in pain all the time, it's hard to have a positive, happy attitude. So being able to not be in pain, be able to perform like you're used to, you know, I'm not a professional athlete by any means, but I like to be able to do my best. So when I'm being held back because of the shoulder or anything, like it gets frustrating. So you're frustrated, you're in pain, but now, you know, I'm back to 100% feeling great and no longer dealing with those kind of issues. So it truly is life-changing when you go from living in pain to no longer being in pain. I really appreciate what Dr. Lily did for me. You know, my wife was having some issues, so I got her in here too, and we both feel a lot better, which improves both of our lives, both individually and together. So just, again, getting my shoulder fixed, feeling confident in the gym, not having to worry about, you know, having to do 10 minutes worth of warm up just to get my shoulder moving, feels great. And I'm very thankful for Dr. Lily. I usually try to find something at least once a year to, you know, test my physical ability. I find something that sounds like I haven't done before or haven't done in a while and want to see where I'm at. Hyrox started popping up on my social media feed and stuff. When I checked it out, I was like, I mean, none of the movements were anything I had to worry about as far as physically being able to do them. So I was like, oh, give it a shot and see. And I knew like my cardiovascular fitness still wasn't where it needs to be for that sport, because it's almost 5 miles worth of running on top of 8 workout stations. So it's a whole new beast, which was exciting to me because, you know, I've done races like 10 milers and stuff like that. And I've done CrossFit, I've done powerlifting, I've done strongman, like I've done all those things, but now you're kind of putting it together where you have to have a good engine, but you also have to be strong enough to push the sled, pull the sled, you know, do walking lunges with weight on your back, and, you know, burpee broad jumps for what feels like forever, you know. So it's a fun challenge. I've set some pretty big goals for myself as far as where I want to rank at age group level and stuff like that. So I'm focusing on my running for the Dallas Hyrox, which will be in late November this year. So I have plenty of time, but, you know, I'm already up to 25 miles worth of running a week now, compared to the 3 to 6 or 6 to 9 miles I was doing before. So it's quite a change, but yeah, that's my big focus right now.